Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm well myself. My name is Nutz, if you don't know me already, and I'm doing another low carb meal prep. I'll show you how especially easy it can be when you put your mind into it. You don't have to look for recipes. You can just use what you have and just pair amazing vegetables and meats. Hey besties, so after mincing these mushrooms in the food processor, I poured them directly into my pot, and I'm going to add everything that I need, which is garlic. I'm going to add the oil and salt, spices and herbs, which would be the Italian spice herbs, because they are mixed herbs and they work very well in a dish like this. And then I'll just let them cook and sweat at the same time, because I want the mushrooms to be truly dry before I add the cream that I'll be using later. So I'll add the cumin. It goes really well with this, as well as spinach. So it's a spice I've come to love for its warmth. It's just versatile. I added the paprika as well. So let's cook this mushroom. So having added all the spices I need and also the dry rack onions, these work well because they don't even show in the sauce, and they soften and they're so flavorful. I added the oil too. These mushrooms are going to release a lot of stock, of course, because mushrooms do that. And then I'll just let this cook down. And as it's cooking down like this, it's releasing all that stock and also just getting so flavorful. And it doesn't take long before it dries out. And once it does, you can add some butter and then the cream. It's so beautiful once it dries out, and I added the butter. I let it melt into the hot dish, and then I'm going to add the cream, about half a cup to 3/4 cup, depending on the amount that you're cooking. And I'm going to let this cook down. I will definitely have to finish with a sprinkle of parsley, dry parsley, and you can use fresh parsley if that's what you prefer. I just love finishing with this because of the color it gives, and then I'll transfer that to a dish. And in the meantime, I'm cooking my chicken in the oven. These are the drumsticks and the thighs. This I will just serve in the meal prep. This I was cooking in the air fryer. The chicken, it's releasing a lot of steam, and yeah, it's about done, but I want to flip it on the underside so that it also cooks and dries. There's a lot of liquid collected in the air fryer tray, so I'm going to use it to baste, just to moisten the chicken skin and make it look attractive, but the chicken is still nice and moist, yeah, because the air fryer kind of cooks very well into the inside without drying it out. So I'm just using this tool just to gather the liquid and pour it on the skin. So now I'll make some green beans for dinner, and I blanched them in hot salty water. I just want them to blanch for a little bit before I remove the remaining stock, and then I'll cook them in butter and nothing else much actually. I find that cooking like this and just adding perhaps some rack of fresh onions, that butter, some herbs, especially mixed herbs or herbs like oregano or some sage. You know, it just tastes nice and very fresh. It's a very good feeling. So cook in butter and then transfer them to a serving dish, and then I'll use the same pot to make my broccoli, and I will use also a little bit of water just to have them steaming through. And then I'll add some salt and red onion for sure. I find that it goes so famously with my broccoli, and just a little water to cook in it. And with this, you can add any type of fat. I keep saying oil, but it's a lot of different fats that we use, be it butter, be it beef tallow, be it pork drippings or bacon drippings. These are really good for flavoring vegetables like this, and just simply cooking it the same way but using different fats or oils, it makes for a very different and flavorful dish. So now we are cooking the cauliflower rice, and I started with oil and butter, and then pour in the cauliflower rice. I will add salt and pepper to season, and then I'll cover this to cook for a while. I keep repeating every time I'm cooking cauliflower, you need to let it cook and cook through so that the cabbage water dries out and it won't, taste funny. And then at the very end, I want to add some nuts, and then it didn't look like it had enough oil, so I added some oil. So the thing with cauliflower, you want to keep it simple because you're serving it like boiled rice, unless you want to fry it or something. Now look at our zucchini and red onions, really, really looking appetizing. And I'll put in the carrots. I decided to cook the carrots together. There's one last dish I did on an oven tray. But for this, I was trying to cook as fast as I can. I also put in the Brussels into the oven, and I let this cook as the bacon gets crispy and releases the oil. This is the pork. It's been cooking downstairs. I need to remove all this stock that it has released and then put it back so that it continues to cook and gets a bit crispy on the outer skin. And here is our Brussels. Look how appetizing they look. Just amazing, yeah? And I let them cook only to a point so that they can stay crispy. I have to note that if you want your vegetables a bit softer, and actually the method that's considered correct is blanching them all in hot boiling water before you put them in an oven or an air fryer. It always gives a different feel or to the bite, yeah. And then I cooked the butternut in the air fryer. I had to change some things along the way just to have them cook faster. So get plate. Moja tu. Nikupatie chopping board. I had to get hubby on the task here to slice for us. He's just good at this portioning. And it's just amazing what some music and good vibes can do. I got all these meals done and then some. I just had to use everything I had, every resource, every oven, I just did what I could to get these meals done, at least the vegetables and meat. I avoided doing the beef because, first of all, we didn't need it, and I felt like I could buy some time. Instead, I went ahead and did breakfast. But look at this spread. Lots of vegetables. I actually cooked 10 different meals, and I'm just serving my dinner here. Look at how beautiful it looks. A little bit of everything, and just the mushroom sauce with the chicken went so well. I couldn't eat pork. I just did one drumstick. And this was the last tray I did with the mixed vegetables, and then we portioned them out. We did a good job here, and these meals are just so satisfactory to find in the fridge. They won't last long anyway. Hello guys, how are you? I'm back to make the breakfast meals. Guys, so everything will get done. So putting this bacon in the air fryer will have me save some time, and then I'll cut the keto bread. I wanted to use more, but this is just the perfect amount, and I hadn't used the keto bread before. I just loved how it soaked up the liquid so fast. And I'm going to do some eggs and a bit of cream, about half a cup of cream, and add into it. I'll let the bread soak while the bacon cooks, and then I'll add them all together, just stir them together, and then I'll bake in the air fryer, no, in the oven, yeah, alongside the other meals that I make. The next dish that I make is like an almond kind of biscuit, you would say, but it's really not. So anyway, using almond flour and some cheese, some eggs and cream, I added broccoli just to make it nice and healthier, and this will be so filling, to serve as a breakfast dish. So together like that, I'm using this silicone dish, and I'm not even going to make more than 4 because from experience, we share this, like one will serve 2, yeah, because we use other, meals as well for breakfast. So I'll just bake the 4 and then go back in with the same dish, and I want to beat some eggs and cream to make my quiche or frittata, and I'm going to use my stovetop. I'm using this little stove on the counter. It will help my meal go faster. And as I do that, I'm adding the bacon into the bread mixture. It's going to be a savory bread pudding for breakfast meal, and in the meantime, cooking the onion, the mushroom with garlic, some spice, just a little bit, and I'll add the spinach, and then just sweat it a little so that everything gets some flavor before I add it into my frittata dish. The idea is just to flavor these meals before you add the cream, because if you did it without frying fast, it will just get soggy and very plain in taste. So transfer that. I'm going to grate some cheese while I'm waiting for it to cool a bit. Add the cheese and then add the custard mix, and this bakes for about 15 minutes. So it's also easy and so good. And yeah, this is halfway through. I love that this bread, the pudding, as it cooks, it swells, so it goes almost up to the top. I just wanted to check because I didn't have the exact timing, and most usually with baked goods you can always press and see how far it has to go or whether it's done, yeah. And this is done, so this is good. I love how these silicone containers bake and freeze, just so versatile. And look at this with the egg yellow, it looks so good. So this can keep for some time, and while the bread cooks, I put in the frittata. So with these containers, if you don't want to eat your meal immediately, you can freeze for some time. And now our bread has cooked even under. And look how good it is. At the very last minute, I added some frozen berries because I didn't want it to I wanted some sweetness added. And look at how well the custard set. Anyway, it's just so amazing, and it looks so good for our breakfast. And this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to catch you on the next one, and I hope that you're loving these meals. I'll see you. Bye-bye.